I didn't read the book, so I didn't know it was going to come next.
I don't read.
If you didn't know, it was... That tracks. It's based off of a book.
It's the Untitled Film Project Podcast. We are talking Caught Stealing. When his punk rock neighbor asks him to care for his cat, New York City bartender Hank suddenly finds himself caught between a whole bunch of meddling gangsters who all want a piece of him.
Oi! What the you doing, geezer? Is that the best you can do? I've got to fly back to London. I need you to take care of my cat.
I like cats.
I like dogs.
Hey, is Russ home?
Who are you?
What's the baby, man?
We'll talk everything caught stealing and ask the big question.
The big question this week is, what movie for the rest of the year are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler. Let's get initial takes, starting with Justin Bradford.
Yeah, so Austin Butler finally dropped his Elvis voice because he had to. So there's that. But what I liked in this too, when I wrote my quick review, was it's Austin Butler and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really what it is.
Yep.
Anything that could go wrong absolutely goes wrong. And it's a series of just unfortunate events that happen around him in a much more elaborate, bad way, because it means lots of people dying around him, people that he cares about dying and other innocent people dying and everything. But it's an awful series of events. But there are so many twists and turns that obviously I didn't read the book, so I didn't know what was going to come next.
I don't
If
read.
you didn't know, it was... That tracks. It's based off of a book.
What are words?
But there were good enough twists that I didn't know what exactly was going to happen next. I figured there'd be some sort of happy ending overall, just with the direction it was going, but I didn't know how they're going to get to that point. And so many things took place that I had no idea. Lots of good, fun surprises and twists and turns, and a fun cast overall as well. So overall, I really did enjoy my time watching this. I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to watch again and again and again, but in the moment with the cast and everything, it was a fun story. It was a fun time of the movies.
Yeah, boy, I felt that. Definitely could not predict where this movie was going. It's probably one of the most approachable Darren Aronofsky movies. He makes challenging movies, okay? He definitely does that. And I think this was probably his most mainstream kind of movie.
Yeah.
Will I go back and watch it again? Just like you said, did it fade from my happiness soon? It did. So it's one of those, I guess, while you're riding the train, it's a fun ride.
I was surprised by this movie, you guys. I went into it thinking that it's just going to be a movie. It's going to be very mid. It's going to be maybe a 5, maybe a 5.5, because Austin Butler is usually pretty good. And I'm not a Zoe Kravitz fan, really. So I'm like, well, okay, But I got to tell you, this was well written. It was well acted. And I loved the story in the sense that the pitfalls and the redemption qualities and by the way, a redemption quality is not exactly new. Okay. It's a common theme in just about some sort of 3-act play or script or book that I don't read or movie or whatever it is. So it's not new. I don't mean to say like, oh, it was great because it had a redeeming quality. No, I'm just saying the way it was done had callbacks and it paid off and it was interesting. Didn't see it coming, so it was not predictable, which I always applaud because I've seen thousands of movies, right? So it's nice when I see something new. And again, nothing here is groundbreaking, but I was so surprised by it. I thought it was just going to be a movie, like I said, and I came out of the theater thinking, all right, I see you.
In a slight departure from The Whale, Darren Aronofsky delivered, I think, a pretty good action movie. Let's talk about Austin Butler as well. The guy just keeps piling up pretty good performances. What'd you guys think?
Do you remember when we asked on our episode of the bike riders?
Bing, bing.
Yeah, for YouTube people out there. We asked the big question of, is Austin Butler one of this generation's greatest actors? And the consensus, I think, was he's on trajectory for that, but we wanted to see more of a body of work. I can tell you that, and I would not usually put a dark comedy in these, as a linchpin, but I can tell you that Caught Stealing anchors it for me. I think he is one of this generation's best actors because it was effortless. He's oozed charisma, but not over the top. It was really great. I believed from the very second that he was a bartender and he's hitting on this girl who they end up being together, and then he just gets in trouble, and he's got to find his way out of this big.
And dealing with trauma.
Correct. Right. So I believed every ounce of it. And so I can tell you that Austin Butler is one of this generation's greatest actors.
Well, and this is good for him too, because obviously we see Dune, we see Bike Riders, we see this. It's showing his range of pulling off different roles and sometimes period roles, because Bike Riders obviously taking place in Elvis, very period. This one, little period and very much a demo in terms of New York in pre 9/11.
Really nails it.
Yeah.
Late 90s or 90s New York.
Yes.
I mean, it just, even if I don't think I have some familiarity with it. I don't come from New York, but I've been there a lot. And I was there in that time frame, and I'm like, nailed it. It's just like it seeps.
That grungy factor of what the New York kind of we grew up knowing, right?
Yep.
And so he nails these period pieces. That shows lots of great range. Now, again, I want to see him in something that shows range in more modern styles of stuff. So yes, and continuing to answer Gover's question, he's on that perfect trajectory there too, because he's going to continue to take these roles. And what we're seeing as well, he's not taking every role. And who knows what he's being offered, right? But he's
doing some
his
good
roles quite well.
Yeah. His agent is bringing the right scripts in front of him to say yes to. Masters of the Air. So every time Austin Butler does something good on film or streaming, I say, oh yeah, well, he's just a really good looking guy. Is that all he is? I mean, kind of what we've done with actors and actresses over a long period of time was like, okay, if you're good looking, do we discount your talent? And I find myself doing what I did with maybe Leonardo DiCaprio at the beginning of his career.
Okay.
Is he just a pretty boy? No, because every time he's doing another project, he's showing you he's got the ability to not just hold your attention with his looks, he's giving a great performance, and he's stealing your attention, to borrow from the movie title.
So in addition to stealing attention, an actor, also a musician, that I'm really enjoying in movies, even if it's more typecast roles, is Bad Bunny. He has become very impressive to me in different roles because the roles that he is playing is good.
He's nailing it.
We've seen it from Saturday Night Live in terms of sketch comedy. We've seen it in true comedy like Happy Gilmore 2. And we're seeing it more here where he's slightly comical but still serious as well too, and seeing those roles play off as a gangster. I'm really enjoying Bad Bunny. And I think it's because they're giving him the right roles for him to show off his chops and not trying to push him into something that he's not. But I really enjoy him because he plays these roles so damn well. And I'm enjoying him on screen that he steals a scene, not in a bad way where it takes attention off. It's like, oh wow, he's pulling my attention because he's good at what he's doing. What do you guys think about Bad Bunny in terms of what we're seeing him? Very small sample size, of course, but I enjoy it.
For the same reason I just said, oh, pretty boys. Yeah, can they really do it? You go like, okay, well, you're musically, you're super talented, but can you do this other thing, which is acting? And he just keeps saying yes with every performance. One thing I do have to say about Caught Stealing is I think the first third of this movie dragged a little bit for me. Boy, does it, hit the ground running, literally. In fact, he's constantly running. I'm like, he's the next Tom Cruise. He's running.
Oh, no.
But I thought the lead up was a little long. And maybe that was necessary for the rest of the movie, because then you're fully invested in this character who just keeps getting thrown into bad things over and over and over. Zoe Kravitz, I thought, was a little bit wasted. There wasn't much of her, and she was billed as a co-star in this movie.
But it was good in shocking way, because I was actually I was like, oh,
they killed her.
They killed her off.
I thought,
was this real?
Because it was so early, I thought she was in on it.
Something. I
thought she was the plant to get to
and
close
that's
to
a good
him.
thing, because it made you think of like, wait, is this real? But so like I want to say glad, that's not the right word.
Right.
But it worked out well because it was a true shock factor that the character was all of a sudden just gone so quickly and it made a part of the movie.
I credit to the filmmakers for marketing this thing the right way. Because you're like, oh, they won't kill a main character because she's billed as a co-star.
Almost everyone died.
And yeah, it doesn't work out well for most people in this movie.
So speaking of twists, did you all see Regina King's character being the culprit of
Yes.
this? Is it something you called?
I didn't call it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming.
But I thought
There's a weird factor there, right?
Yeah, I was like, hey, I think she's in on it or whatever. Just because she's a cop, and it kind of makes sense for the audience to believe her and safety and all that. So I thought she was a suspect. I'll put it that way. I didn't call it. I wasn't gonna be like, that's it.
Well, from the first interaction where it's like, I'm just effing with you. That right there is like, is a detective really gonna?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But I'm like, that was a slight flag for me. That was a beige flag.
A beige flag. All right.
Yeah. To the point where I thought, is she not playing this character well? But then it's
sense.
revealed in the story that, oh, okay, that actually does work for this character because she's not very nice.
The only time I started to believe like, oh, I'm wrong, right? Which is probably why I didn't call it, is because she opens up to him at a certain point and she goes, yeah, I grew up in the projects right over here, right on blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, she's opening up to him. Okay, I'm with it. And I let my guard down. And then, of course... Yeah. So no,
I got you.
So I had picked her as, I bet she's in on it. Like I'd put money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not my house, but I'd put like $10 that she's, on red or something that she's in on it. And then when she said the projects thing, I was like, oh, I'm wrong. And then of course right away, I was
flipped
right.
it.
Yeah.
Now I really enjoyed the cast here, especially with the Jewish guys, Liev Schreiber,
Yes.
and D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Fantastic chemistry.
Yes, agreed.
On screen between
Carol
the two guys.
Kane.
Oh yeah.
Just these are people I think we'd love to see in these, and they were probably chomping at the bit to play these characters because they're fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was so much fun and great interaction, and I think it just paid off. Everything paid off very well because I was wondering who was the true culprit who killed Zoe Kravitz's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it all comes in the end. So I'm glad to see we got closure behind that as well.
And I will say that, I'll say that too, is that I give this movie a lot of props. Because one, it was not predictable, like we talked about, but also because of that, I had completely forgotten that Zoe Kravitz was even a character in this thing by the time he revealed the gun and said, hey, light my cigarette. It's whatever the Jewish holiday, whatever the thing is. So I was like, oh my God. And it was like this, like, and if you can, as a filmmaker, make me forget a major character has even been in this thing at all, that means I'm out. I'm invested. I've dove in feet first into this pool that you've made, and I'm living in the moment completely to forget that this character even took place, and it brought it back. Like with the gun, I was like, oh my God. So I give it a lot of props for that.
All right, let's do some scoring on Caught Stealing. I'll kick us off if you like.
Please.
I really was kind of dreading this movie because, I mean, I've loved some of Darren Aronofsky's movies, but they're not always fun. Okay. Case in point, The Whale, Mother, they are challenging. This one was fun, and I probably credit the source material, which none of us read. There were some great characters throughout. I thought beyond the pacing of maybe the first third of the movie, where it was just a little long in the setup, this movie was just so much fun to watch. And I don't know. I wondered after I was watching the movie and at even leaving and the next day and telling people that I went, what I thought of the movie. I don't know if I didn't know if it was going to stay with me. And if it was just something that's fun in the moment and then I'm going to forget about it like fast food. I think it's staying with me. Like just having this conversation and having you guys confirm the things that were just delightful about this movie and just made it such a fresh watch in a year of IPs, sequels, and remakes. I'm going to give it 7.5. I thought it was just solid.
Yeah. What has stayed with me is overall the performances and that I wasn't expecting it. Because there's not much marketing behind it aside in the theaters, right? That's the only reason we probably knew about it is because we go to the movies a lot and we see trailers for it. It's like, oh, that sounds interesting. And it has kind of stuck with me, and I think about it, not often, but I think about it enough to where like, okay, that was a good movie. I really appreciated the twists, the turns, how we didn't know what to expect, and how there's shock factor in the most brilliant way in terms of what you can do with movies, and that there's actual true closure as well, and that the main character does overcome or accept his trauma and his past mistakes. And I think that's a big point. Maybe we didn't touch on it either, but just that character accepting his trauma for what it is, and that is in the past, and he has apologized for it. He is through that as well. He's overcome it, even though he made huge mistakes and it affected his career and his life and obviously his friend's life, but he's overcome that. And I think that's maybe a minor thing, even though it actually is a true character building aspect of this and going through this, because he didn't deserve any of the stuff that happened to him. Like the character didn't do anything to deserve all these bad things happening. And you don't often see that in film. Typically it's like you make a mistake, you're paying for it. That's your,
Right.
You have
Karma.
to deal with the repercussions, the karma, everything. And that's why I say terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, series of unfortunate events, because it's like he had no control aside from just trying to be a good neighbor, that his girlfriend talked him into being a good neighbor and then she dies for it. So it's just a very curious take on it. And that's why I enjoyed it, because it was something different that we hadn't seen. And yes, based on a book, but still it's not a book that I think the general population is fully aware of either. So that's why I enjoyed it, because it's not something we have seen a lot of. And for that, I'm with Jim. It's a 7.5 for me. I thought it was a really good film.
Go over.
I was surprised by this movie. Like I said, I thought it was just going to kind of be a movie that I went and saw, and I logged, and I was like, great. You know, it was fun.
Got
I
that
guess.
over with.
Yeah. Check. You know, but I was charmed by it. I thought it was awesome. It was not predictable, which is one of the biggest compliments I can give a movie at this point. Again, I've seen thousands of movies, right? So we watch them all the time, multiple a week. And so it gets to the point where sometimes you've seen things over and over again, even if they're presented in a different way. You're like, oh, okay. You know, but in this particular case, I didn't see that Zoe Kravitz was going to die early like that. Again, to the point where I thought, oh, well, she must be in on it then if she's gone this early in the film. Like that, to that level of surprise. So I thought it was awesome like that. The trailer makes you think that the friend like almost corners Austin Butler's character, and then that's how that ends, but it actually doesn't. So it's actually kind of cool. So again, a lot of really good misdirection going on. Really appreciate that. Austin Butler is one of this generation's best actors. Caught stealing, just put the final nail in the coffin for me, which is saying something, because it's a dark comedy. It's not like some big dramatic piece or something like that, but he was great. 7.5 for me. I thought it was
all around.
I think we're all full board here. 7.5 for me, because again, it was not predictable. I really appreciated that, and it was just well written. And Austin Butler is great. So yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it. That's the weird thing, right? That's where my score.
I am kind of in that weird zone.
Yeah, it's like
You have to be a movie appreciator, I think, to really enjoy.
I would agree with that.
too.
If you like a good dark comedy, you'll really like this. If you don't like a dark comedy, I don't know, maybe
A dark comedy with mystery thriller in it.
sure.
Yeah. This is a Sunday night and it's raining.
There's nothing
and
else on,
Yeah.
With
Let me put that on.
and you want to enjoy something.
with some underlying baseball theming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go Giants.
All right. Big question time on the Untitled Film Project podcast.
This week, the big question is, what movie for the rest of the year, rest of 2025, are you most looking forward to seeing? And I'm going to start with Bradford on this one.
November 21st, Wicked for Good. That's, I mean, there are other movies that I'm definitely looking forward to, but I'm a musical fan. I'm a Wicked fan. And boy, oh boy, did I wear that out on Spotify last year so much that in only a month and a half, it made it end up in my Spotify Wrapped. So
Your phone is saying, come on, get to the second one.
yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to it. The first one was obviously just incredible, and I am glad they split it up into two to do full justice to Wicked, because it is a long musical. So you couldn't push it all into one. And I think John Chu did a wonderful job of bringing the stage musical to life in film, and obviously just great performances. So there's a lot of pressure on this as well from the musical community, of course. And I'm pretty sure it's going to deliver. I can't see it not delivering.
Is there any more pressure than when the first
There's more pressure
one
now.
came
I think.
out? You think so?
I think there's more pressure because they filmed these back to back. And so I don't know if they've done reshoots or anything if they've had to, but there's more pressure because the first one was so incredible and so well received and broke so many records and obviously had nominations come with it, that just to match that level, because the first one also includes Defying Gravity, which is the song this musical is most known for, but it's the song before intermission. So the most known song
it's not the finale.
It's not the finale. Right. Like in so many musicals, right, the most well-known songs are near the end a lot of times to wrap things up. You're not going to have that. Now, obviously, there's plenty of great songs in the second act of Wicked, but the most well-known one is in the first act. So I'm not saying that determines everything, but in terms of what the general public sees it as, that's what they know Wicked. They know Defying Gravity. So obviously for good, Wicked for Good, there's going to be plenty of great music, but I think the pressure, if it's real or not, I think there's a lot of pressure on this movie to perform well, and I'm curious to see how the marketing really amps up for it, because there was plenty for the first one to make sure people are aware of it. Everyone's aware of this one now. Right. We know this is coming out, so I'm curious to see how they lead up to this, if they even have to do multiple, how many trailers they do, things like that, right? How we get tired of things. Like, look, a lot of people know what's happening in this. Don't spoil stuff either, because in the first movie, there were plenty of people that had no idea what was going on, and that's incredible. I love seeing those reactions so things don't get spoiled. Please, in the trailers, don't spoil things that'd be a surprise to people that have never seen Wicked. That's what I want them to experience this in the theater, to have that moment. So please don't spoil things in trailers. We know it's coming. We're going to go watch it. We know it's going to be amazing, so you don't have to spoil things in a trailer.
But they want to be rude.
Please don't be rude.
My answer. What was your release date again?
Yeah. November 21st.
Okay. 5 days later, mine is Zootopia 2. But I say that with some apprehension. Okay. The first Zootopia, I believe, is one of the most underrated Disney movies of all time.
It's a great movie.
It's tremendous. The message is great, but it's not in your face about what the agenda is. It's cute. It's awesome. It's a lot of memorable scenes. It's great. Okay. I don't know what they're going to do with number 2, and it worries me. The trailer they do it's not really a trailer. It's like a teaser with it's like a music video teaser, right? With it's going through different scenes and it's cute, but I'm like, you haven't told me anything about the movie, which may or may not be a good thing. I don't know. We'll see. So apprehensively, is that even a word? It's Zootopia 2 for me.
For me, it's a House of Dynamite. It's really a House of Dynamite movie.
It's on a streaming service, isn't it?
I think is it coming to theaters or is it streaming?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't even know. I didn't even check that out. But I've been hearing so much good buzz about this movie with Rebecca Ferguson, Idris Elba, and it's a thriller about basically a missile and nuclear missile is going to hit the United States, and we don't know where it's coming from. It's going to be an incredible edge of your seat movie, and I think it's maybe going to have that element that maybe nobody cared about in Mission Impossible's finale this summer. And maybe this is going to hit, because I think we had a little bit of maybe Mission Impossible fatigue. I don't know. People were just seemed to be done with it. But House of Dynamite, I'm just hearing really good things from the festival circuit. People are buzzing about it. And I love taut international thriller where the stakes are so incredibly high. I can't wait.
And you said Rebecca Ferguson, so
you're
old.
I was going to make the joke that Rebecca Ferguson took the Mission Impossible hype with her because she was not in the last one, and it was again fine. It was not great. It was fine.
But maybe we can attribute that to a lack of Rebecca Ferguson.
Maybe it's true.
I do.
We're both correct, Jim. It is a limited theater run.
Okay.
In October, going to streaming in Netflix October 24th.
Then we need to go see it in a theater.
Yes, please, because these limited runs, you guys, they don't do this willy-nilly. If they did, they would have put Axel F and Happy Gilmore 2 in a theater for a week or whatever. They don't do that. They do it for Knives Out, which is classic, or not classic. It's quality filmmaking.
Phenomenal.
Right? They're doing it for this too. So if they're doing it for this, you got to know they think they have something. It may not be your bag. But if they think they have something good enough to put in a theater, that should get your attention to at least give it a shot.
Also, Gover said willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. So we'd like to know what your movie is that you were looking forward to the most through the end of 2025. Lead us down in the comments, of course. here if you're watching on YouTube, or if you want to hit us up on socials, you can do that too. And you see the handle for the channel, at least up top. And it's Gover time if you want to reach out to me personally.
Jim Chandler now.
Just Radford.
Tell us the movie you're most excited for. What'd you think of Caught Stealing?
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. To support the show, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. Original music by Jeremy Schwartz. Special thanks to the Music City Film Critics Association. Editing and post-production by Jeremy K. Gover. Voiceover by Chad Bennett.